Today on the podcast, we're talking debut albums, record release parties, and vocal warm-ups. This is the Kansas City Podcast. Welcome to the Kansas City Podcast. Welcome to the Kansas City Podcast. I'm your host, Cole Lindbergh. Many of you know me from my delicious Brussels sprout recipes. And if not, it's nice to meet you. Brussels sprout.
Brussels sprout recipe.
Each week here on the Kansas City Podcast, we are joined by a one-of-a-kind KC native for a conversation on life in the city of fountains. And two quick housekeeping deals. Number one, and this is very exciting, I would like to send, if you didn't hear the news, I would like to send a special thank you mostly thank you to 435 Magazine, who put the Kansas City Podcast as the best local podcast.
No way!
It's true. It is absolutely
awesome.
True. I didn't even know about it until Dave from Taco the Town told me. And so I'm looking online. I'm like, what the hell's going on? No way. And so, So thank you so much to 435 Magazine. Best local podcast.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And we'll get to you in a moment. Thank you so much. I would also like to send a special thank you to a gentleman who posted on our website, and he enjoyed last week's episode with Derek Troutwine talking Kansas City Public Theater, and he felt so compelled. He loved it so much. He wrote a blog about it.
Wow.
And which I know, I'm like, wow, we're inspiring. We're Best Local Podcast. We're inspiring bloggers. And he said in his blog that he hopes that Derek and I perform the Kitty Cat Club, which is, I don't know if you got to listen to last week's episode, but I wrote a play called The Kitty Cat Club, and it's really good. And he said he hopes to see us perform it at Fringe next year. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think that one needs a lot of work. All right, so let's get to today's guest. For Best Local I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I feel like part of me is kind of upset because I'm just like, you feel like you would know something like that,
right.
But instead, I found out, I guess that's kind of how it happens. You find out through someone else.
There's two ways it happens. You find out from someone else, or you're tagged in something.
Yes. And see, I think I found out from someone else. That's what I assumed. I was going to get tagged and somebody like, hey, big surprise.
Right.
But instead I had no idea.
No, they always just kind of throw it out there and kind of let you
just
find
throw it out there.
So that makes you wonder, how many other best podcasts have you been nominated for?
Exactly. It's like I could have 10 awards right now and not even know it.
I mean, just put that on your
resume. You know
the
weirdest part about that is all of a sudden out of nowhere I got an email from a marketing company. And they were like, hey, Cole, congratulations on the Best Local Podcast. Would you like a, you ever go to a restaurant and you see the acrylic things on the wall where it's a snippet of the paper and it says oh, it's award, this.
Right.
And they're like, this would look, and it was obviously a marketing email where they sent out to everybody because it said, this would look great in your store. And I was like,
guys,
I don't know if you know this, but so it's somebody took a marketing list and then just filled in all the different little things, and they're like, "Oh, Best Local Podcast," and then the rest of the email's already written.
Right. I got you.
You'll love this in your store, and I'm just like, wait, what? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited. You've heard her speak a few times already. She is a musician. She is a singer-songwriter, and on September 1st, would I call this debut album?
It is my debut album.
Her debut album, Dome of Swallows, is being released. Please welcome to the Kansas City Podcast, Miki P. Miki, welcome to the show.
Woo, hello.
How are you?
Good.
Happy Sunday morning to you.
Happy Sunday morning.
No, I'm sorry, this comes out on Monday. Happy Monday morning.
Happy Monday morning.
Yes, happy Monday morning to you. Miki, you are a singer-songwriter.
Yes.
You have your record release party coming up soon.
Yes.
Why don't you, anytime I talk to a musician, the first thing I always ask is, because I want to get to know their style. right? I want to get to know like who they are, who are they representative of. So I always believe that with any musician, singer-songwriter, band, there's always like 3 artists that you could like pull those 3 together and put them together, and that's what you are.
Yeah.
Okay. So why don't you give a little bit of info on you and maybe some background on maybe some of your influences? Wait, like when people listen to you sing, who are they going to be reminded of? Who are you?
I don't know.
She just gave me a look like, what the hell? This is your first question? You jerk.
It's a hard one. It's a hard one for a musician to be like, I'm like this person.
I know you because you want to be your own, but you have like influence stuff. Like when I had a band in high school, I was like, oh, we're kind of Nirvana, we're kind of Green Day, we're kind of like Pearl Jam sometimes. We're like grunk. I don't know.
90s Seattle grunk.
Yeah, exactly, right? So give us a little bit of info.
So I'm Miki P. Yes, that's who I am. I would say I take a little bit from like older music.
Okay.
So like I love the Beatles, straight up like best band ever, favorite band ever.
What's your favorite Beatles album?
Well, it was Magical Mystery Tour for a while.
Really?
Yeah, I got it on vinyl.
That's not a common one. You always hear White Album, you hear Abbey Road.
You forget about it, but it's got Fool on the Hill, and I just like love that song. Like I fell in love with it.
Yep.
So, but I think it's more Sgt. Pepper right now. It used to be White Album. Yeah. Like that's where my like love for the Beatles started, with the White Album.
Yeah.
But I'm like growing older. So like Sgt. Pepper's like speaking to me more, you know.
Well, you do have. We're actually sitting here at your place, and there is a giant photo of the Beatles on the wall. So
I've had that in my room since high school.
Who's your favorite Beatle?
George, hands down.
George, your favorite? I like Ringo.
Well, I think I'm like I have this Beatleology book.
Oh, okay.
And it's really awesome because it like tells you what Beatle you are, and you can have like a minor Beatle too, so you can be like a major Paul with a minor John, because they all have like different personality traits, right?
Yeah.
And they're like all different. At least like I can see that because I know them very well, or like I've studied them, you know. But like George he's like my favorite songwriter. Yeah. I guess in the group, and I like really took to his songs. I really took to his like underdog thing too.
yeah, where he's kind of like, I'm just here.
Right, like he was writing songs and like they weren't making the A-sides of the vinyl, and then like he wrote Here Comes the Sun and Something, and those are like the 2 biggest Beatles songs ever.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, maybe I'm not so much a Ringo, maybe I'm more a Paul. I don't know. Okay,
Paul's really cute, and like I also like John. I mean, I like them all, obviously.
Well, yeah. You
I could like go on for hours.
You kind of have to.
But I don't know.
All right, so you love the Beatles.
Yeah.
You've got your debut album coming out.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the album, about writing the album and the process and you as a musician.
So I started this process like December of last year. Okay. I had some of the songs on the album written like in high school, and I've been holding on to them for a while.
Okay.
But most of them I wrote within this last year.
Okay.
And it kind of just follows my year. I didn't really plan the album out. I just kind of was like writing songs that pertained to my life, and then they all kind of like made sense, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go do an album.
Okay. Hey, there you go. That's all it takes. I mean, if you put them in the sequence, and then you're good to go.
Right. It makes sense. It kind of tells a story, and it just kind of follows a year in my life.
Okay.
I'm playing piano and guitar and ukulele.
Oh, and, the uke.
Yes,
I love
the ukulele.
Okay. All right.
I have a tenor, so it's not like
it's not as high pitched.
Little soprano.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
like ukulele. But yeah, I just kind of wrote the songs on the instruments that like portrayed my feelings, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there's different instruments for different songs,
right.
That makes total sense. All the sense in the world. Like if you want a slow brooding ballad, you may play the piano.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I did.
Or if you want like a really fun poppy high pitched deal, you might pull out a banjo. No, I'm kidding.
A banjo.
Yeah, that's right. So, the name of the album.
Yes.
I just
Dome of Swallows.
Dome of Swallows.
Yes.
Okay. Are you willing to explain what that means? Because when you first said it, when I asked you when I first got here, and I said, "Hey, what's the name of the album?" You go, "Dos Solos," and I'm like, "Wait, I'm sorry. Did you just speak Spanish? Like, Dome Swallows. What does it mean?"
Okay, so I went camping over this summer, and I hadn't come up with a name for the album.
Okay,
like the album was done, and we were listening to it on the way out to go camping. And so I was kind of expecting to like take this weekend that I was camping and come up with something. Like I wasn't going to like pressure myself to come up with it, but I wanted it to come to me. So we were walking on a pier, and we were like under a bridge, and all these swallows were like nested up in this bridge.
Okay.
And they were all like out. It was sunset, and it was like beautiful out, and they were all flying. And it was like they were following us, like we were walking, and they were kind of like circling and like coming down and around us. And so I kind of just like looked up and enjoyed the moment, and I was like, this is like a dome of swallows.
Very nice.
Like protecting me, you know?
Okay, I like it. Yeah. Very nice. Good.
And I like the nature aspect.
Yes.
I wanted to keep that in.
And did you write a song about these swallows?
I didn't, because the album's done.
Oh, okay.
But my next album, like most definitely.
Oh, okay. Cool. Now, is it just you? Do you have a backing band?
There's a band. Yes.
Okay, there is a band.
Yes.
Okay. You are the forefront. You are there in front.
Well, yeah, they're my songs. So, yeah.
Where'd you record it at?
Element Recording Studios.
Okay.
On Southwest Boulevard.
Very nice.
Yeah.
How many days were you weeks?
It was like over
months,
like weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, it took months because we just did like individual days here and there.
Yeah.
I think it was like it probably would add up to about a week in all.
And how many songs are on the album? 10 songs. Okay, so it's like a full LP. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I didn't know if I wanted to go with an EP for my first release. So I went with the album.
So have you like always wanted to be a musician? Like did you release demo tapes and things like that? Was this like you were just like I want to do that? Okay, you were in a band. Okay.
I was in a band, American Slim, for 6 years.
Okay.
And that was kind of my band through middle school and high school, and then like early adulthood. Well, we actually just ended this last summer officially. Okay. But we released an album together. We released a single this last spring. But I was ready to. I had a vision for myself, I've had a vision for myself for a long time, I feel like, and I'm finally kind of like doing it.
So this is like your basically like welcome to my new path.
Yes.
Like I'm putting out the album. I'm having the release party at the. We haven't even we haven't talked about it. So why don't you say it? When is the release party?
The release party is September 14th at the Rino, in North Kansas City.
The Rhino should be paying me for all the damn promotion.
They're having
they're doing so
many
cool
amazing
things.
shows.
We talked about the Rhino last week because the Kansas City Public Theater is doing their kickoff at the Rhino.
Way.
So this is like 2 weeks in a row I'm going to Rhino, and I'll probably have Ben on the show again because Ben's just a crazy person.
And Ben is the Rhino.
Yeah, basically. I mean, when you break it down that way.
When I think about the Rhino, it's like
it's Ben Wynn.
Yeah, right.
Right. Okay, so you're having the release party at the Rhino.
Yes.
Is it just you, or you have other people?
I have a full band. I'll be playing with a full band. So I'm gonna have a horn section, a backup singer. I'm gonna have a drummer, a bassist, and then I'll be playing 3 different lovely instruments. And then I have 7 amazing women opening up for me.
7?
Yes.
Oh, it's a night of music.
Yes, it's like a showcase. So they're gonna play 2 to 3 songs each.
Wow.
And then I'll come on.
Very nice.
I wanted it to be kind of like a songwriting thing at first, like storytelling time, and then I'll come on and tell my stories as well, I guess.
and so you have this release party. Wait, so the album releases, you have this release party. Then are you going on tour? Are you going what's you have this vision for yourself?
Right.
I mean, where do you see this where do you see this happening? Because you don't want to just put out an album and then be like,
right.
Hey, it's done.
There and bye.
like if you want to go all in on being like a musician and stuff, you gotta like tour, you gotta do all this crazy
gotta go on the
stuff.
road.
So you gotta go on the road. So what are you gonna do?
Well, I think I'm just really focusing on like online promotion.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a lot
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. I'm a SoundCloud artist. No.
I'm a YouTuber.
Right.
Are you gonna make it a music video?
What?
You got to make a music video.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Well, I have a music video for one of the songs.
Oh, really?
Yes.
See, you're already like, wait, you're just starting
I got the wheels turning.
Okay.
I'm planning on more going on the road probably for 2019. Mm-hmm. Or maybe even like, well, I don't really want to go on the road in the winter. It's horrible traveling in the winter.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, that's
with like a bunch of equipment. But when it gets warm or starts to get warm, I guess in 2019, I think I'm gonna try to go do some stuff on the road, either by myself or with my band. I don't know.
Okay.
But the prospects are kind of open right now.
Okay. What do you want? Like, what do you?
I would love to go on the road.
Okay.
Absolutely, but what I want, I guess, is to build my fan base online.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the way it goes. You got to like really like build
and just get
up.
my music out. I mean, once my album comes out, then the music will be there. It's really hard to do it when I just have one song out.
Yeah.
Because there's not a whole lot to like listen to or like hold on to. So once my album comes out, I'm gonna like really push it, and then people are gonna be like, oh, okay, she's like an artist. She's like actually doing things, you know. And then that will get me on the road. That will get me people in different cities, and I can kind of gauge where I can go. Because I don't even know really where to start. I would probably start with like St. Joe and Lawrence, you know, like really close to home.
I'm going to St. Joe. I'm going to Lawrence. I'm going to. I might make a trip out to Columbia.
Which, those cities are awesome, and college cities are great to tour in.
Well, I mean, anytime you get a chance to go tour on the road, like that's
I love
great thing.
I love being on the road.
Okay,
like, I'm ready.
So you have 10 songs on the album. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite?
Actually, I have one.
Okay. I mean, I figured you'd be like, I'm not going to tell you that. I don't want it
deepest, darkest secret.
I don't want people to feel like, they have to know my favorite.
No, my favorite is Music Box.
Music Box.
Yeah, it's
Let me guess. Hold on. It's about a music box.
Exactly.
And you wind it up. And it plays a song. And you have now written a song about your love of winding the music box. Am I correct? Thank you.
Close.
Okay.
It's actually like kind of like from a third party, like looking at a music box.
Okay.
I had two music boxes. I had Hey Jude and Here Comes the Sun.
Oh, okay.
And they sat on my piano like all throughout high school. And this is one of the ones I wrote in high school, so I've been hanging on to this one for a while.
Yeah.
And it, like, I played them occasionally, but it's not like they did much. But their main purpose is to make music, right? Yeah. And like bring joy. And like play a Beatles song.
Yeah.
And so it kind of made me sad. It kind of made me sad that I was like, wow, like they're only going to be played like how many times in their life, right? So it's kind of like that perspective, like life happening around this object, I guess. And the song could be about anything. It could be about a table, and it could be the same song. But I just thought Music Box was a little magical because it was like it did something that is so beautiful, but like only got like a couple purposes in life.
Oh. Very nice.
Yeah.
We can just end the show right there.
Right.
So, like when you're passionate about something, you're talking about something, I'm just gonna sit back and hang out.
Yeah, I'll just ramble. I love writing songs. It's my favorite thing to do. That's my passion.
Do you feel like, because I've been a musician for a long time, and I've had different bands, and last week, there was a rap song on the show that I wrote about the Kitty Cat Club.
Right.
Callback. So, I've always found that when you're writing songs, I always get stuck.
Yeah.
I always get stuck. And then like all of a sudden you're working on something and it just like starts just flowing out of you like crazy.
Yeah.
And so I started like anytime I was sitting down with a guitar and I was recording songs or trying to figure out something to do, I would like hit like voice memo on my phone or something and just record.
Yeah.
And just like,
yeah, that's such a good idea. That's a really good idea.
I had like 30-minute long recordings of like half of it's crap and then the other half is
you have
like
whatever. 2 minutes in there of like gold.
Yeah, exactly. And so like, do you find like, I still find songwriting to be incredibly difficult. Like, has it gotten easier for you, or do you think like the subject matter changes over the time? Like,
Oh, subject matter definitely changes depending on what I'm experiencing.
in high school, it was always about like girls. You know, it was like girls, and it was about like, why do all the popular dudes get all the hot girls?
I don't think I ever wrote a song like that, but I think I'm like very anti-trend.
Oh,
so like
we're against the curve.
Oh yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna write a song. Like I would like rebel, and like I wrote a song called "Irreplaceable" just to be like taking a stance, you know, in high school. But I mean, I started writing when I was like really young, and so like my songs weren't good when I was like 12 or 13, but I'm really glad I started there,
right?
So that it's like, okay, well, they're okay now, you know, they're like good now.
I still feel like I'm writing like an 8 and 10-year-old. Truth.
I mean songwriting takes a lot to like be genuine.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hard part, is like finding genuine songwriters.
I always get stuck on like the words. I always like way to make it generic, Cole. I always get stuck on like, I'll read it through and I'll be like, I wouldn't say that. Mm-hmm. You know, like I'll be reading something that I wrote, and I'll be like,
that's not me. Like that's not every day.
Like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know how else to convey it.
Mm-hmm. You have to use that word or that phrase.
Yeah. And it's just like, so then I would just go crazy about it. I'm just like, I can't, this makes no sense. Like, you know, like this isn't me, but who am I writing for me, or am I writing because it's like it helps the song, right? And I always found myself going back and forth on it and just like getting really pissed off.
I try not to think too much.
Yeah.
Like I'll just like, I mean, it really flows though. Like if I'm in a songwriting mood, I could write a whole song in like one sitting, like 30 minutes or however long it would take.
Really?
Yeah. And my songs aren't like complicated melodically.
Yeah.
Like it's just chord stuff, like really easy chord progressions.
Were they poppy? Are they like poppy songs? Are they like folky? I mean,
they're like a mix.
Okay.
I'm saying right now it's like pop rock with folk influences.
Okay.
Because the folk is coming from the songwriting. I love listening to folk. I love listening to like old country just because like the songwriting. But it's poppy because it's catchy and it's like got 3 chords. You can play along on your ukulele too.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely got the pop ring to it.
What do you want to be doing 5 years from now? This is a job interview.
This is a job interview for 5 years from now.
Yeah. What do you want to? What do you like? Do you think you'll be traveling the world singing songs, or like,
I really
is
hope.
that what you want?
That's honestly what I see for myself. I mean, I can't see myself like doing anything else.
Do you have a regular job?
I teach music.
Oh, okay.
So that's my regular quote unquote job.
Okay.
But it's
well, at least you're doing
music.
something. I mean, if you would have said, "Oh, I'm working at a
I'm a
grocery
waitress.
store," like, I'd be like, "Oh, damn!" But like, at least you're like, "Okay, you're teaching music. That's fantastic."
Yeah, I love it. I do that on the weeknights, so then I have the weekends and the daytime for like rehearsals, and then weekends for shows.
Nice.
And I just kind of keep it as open as possible. But it's nice teaching music because then I get to practice.
Yeah.
So I teach voice and I teach piano. So I'll like practice all my scales there, and then I'll teach ukulele and guitar. And then I'll
do you got any
vocal
tips for me?
Ooh, lip trills are the best vocal warm up.
Wait, what?
Okay, so lip trills, it's like the sound you would make in the bath if you were trying to make bubbles. It's like oh no, yeah, that one, yeah.
Okay.
So if you do that on like a scale and just like keep going until you hit your octave and then like go back down. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, totally.
I'm listening to
I know it's really hard to keep it up. You have to practice.
Okay, so that's the best one.
That is the one I start everyone with.
Why is that? I'm sorry. Now I'm going. Why is that? Like,
so
it feels so silly.
I know it really does. But a lot of vocal exercises are like super silly.
Yeah.
And like they make you feel super silly. But lip trills is a good one to start out with because it doesn't
Doesn't hurt your vocal
strain
cords?
your vocal cords.
Okay.
So you can go like out of your range technically and like hit notes that you would be able to just singing. Yeah, but on like a lip trill.
Like that?
Exactly.
Okay, I got it. Okay. All right.
It's really good for your upper range.
Okay.
And then, I mean, there's other vocal exercises, mums and...
Wait, I'm sorry. Now we're going down a path here. But what is mums? I'm sorry.
Mums? Well, I just like to find words that have like really exaggerated like vowels that like end with consonants. So like mum is a good one. Mum, 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 mum.
Okay.
And you can make it like really nasally. Mum, 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 mum. And it's just like, I don't know. Yeah,
Okay,
totally.
All right, I'm getting okay. This is good. I'm feeling better about my vocals.
Yeah, I've never talked about it outside my classroom. This is very interesting.
Well, no, that's good. Well, it's interesting to me because, like, you know, like when I was like singing and stuff, like I never did vocal warm ups. I just did whatever. And so, like, when you see, when you hear about people that like, you know, sing for a living, like on Broadway or something, they're always like in the backstage, la 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 la.
Yeah, they like warm
know,
up before the
you
show.
know, and I'm just like, what are they doing?
Right.
But this makes sense now. I'm starting to understand. Like, I know it's good, but
It's
like,
so good. It's so good.
but I never like have done it, so I don't know what to think.
Honestly, I would say that before I started teaching,
Yeah.
I was an okay singer.
Yeah.
I wasn't like the best, but after teaching, I feel so confident and I feel like I have so much control just because like I know what's going on in my face and in my vocal cords. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I can literally feel what I'm doing, so I can take a note and I can sing it 3 different ways with 3 different like even emotions just
Okay.
by the way that I'm going to sing that word.
Well, because your voice is an instrument and you have to tune it.
Totally.
You have to like work it and figure it
Right.
out. Okay.
Right. So, but I've developed that through like teaching and doing like vocal warm-ups and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
See, this is very exciting stuff.
Yeah.
This is exciting. I mean, you got an album coming out.
Yeah.
You're still teaching music, so you're doing something you love.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
So I mean, you know, you've got it going on.
Yeah.
Got it going
on. Thanks.
So here's what we're doing. We're going to take a quick break. Yep. We'll be right back here on the Kansas City Podcast with Miki P.
Bye.
Hey everyone, Cole here. Just want to give a special shout. I'm probably going to, I hate doing this, but I'm probably going to toot my horn on this for quite a while. Thank you to 435 Magazine for naming us the best local podcast. I don't know, like, were we nominated? Did someone like float our name, or is 435 Mag a listener? What's the deal? We'll never know. I'm very excited about it, so thank you so much. Also, just want to say that we've been receiving a lot of emails and a lot of messages from folks saying, hey, you should have this person on the show, maybe this person. And honestly, I love that. Send them my way. The more, the merrier. If you know someone that you think should be on the show, or you think I should try to reach out to somebody that you want to hear me talk to, please send them my way. The show is only as good as the guests that are on it, and I hope you're enjoying today's episode. Let's get back to it. We've got a lot more stuff to do on today's episode with Miki P. Thanks. Welcome back to the Kansas City Podcast. Cole Lindbergh here with Miki P. Hi, Miki.
Hey.
Miki, of course, her album release party on September 14th at the Rino in support of her debut album, Dome of Swallows. Coming out September 1st. On September 1st, where is it going to be? On iTunes?
It's going to be everywhere. Spotify,
everywhere.
iTunes, YouTube, Google Play.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So during the break, I was giving Miki some songwriting tips, and I was telling her about how it's really important to be crazy drunk when you're writing music. That it all sounds better, the words are cooler. So she's gonna, for her next album, a lot of these songwriting tips that I've given her, she is going to.
I'm going to take into
She's going
effect.
to take into. So your next album, Dome of Swallows, Volume 2.
Volume 2.
Will have a special credit, special thanks to Cole Lindbergh for all the great songwriting tips.
For the inspiration for this album.
She gave me a lot of vocal tips today, like vocal warm-up tips. I gave her a lot of songwriting tips.
It all works out.
You could do which one with them. Hey, we have a new segment here on the show. Being that we are the best local podcast, I'm going to toot my horn on this.
You should.
According to 435 Magazine. we have a lot of different listeners of the show. And what we've found is that, through analytics and computer technology, I know a little bit more about our listeners, and some of them like very certain things. Like we've learned that some, they listen to the podcast, while they're preparing for bed.
Right.
Or some, they listen to the podcast while they're going for a run.
Right.
Well, there is a subsection of people that they listen to this show while they're gardening.
Really?
Yeah, it's true. And so
that's so cool.
I know. So I was wondering if maybe you could help me, if we could speak to the gardeners for a moment here on, just directly to them, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so this is for the listener.
Yeah.
For the listener.
Hey, gardener. How's that soil?
You watering your plants?
You know what I hear? I hear if you sing to your plants, they'll grow happier.
They'll be really happy, especially the tulips.
Especially the tulips. Oh, look at that flower. It's blooming.
It's bloom. Oh, that one's dying.
Oh, give it some water. Glug, glug, glug. Glug, glug. Yeah, take some water, little plant. Glug, glug.
You're gonna feel all better.
Hey, I gotta put the earbuds next to that little rose over there. I'm gonna tell it how special it is.
Your love for so many, Rose.
Hey, little Rose. You're so special. We're not gonna chop you, I swear. All right, cool. That's for the listener.
Yes.
For the listener.
I think that we may have just killed some plants.
You think?
I don't know. I mean, we may have scared them.
I think that we probably there's probably more growing now after that.
the person, they wake up the next morning and their plants are like 5 feet higher.
Oh god, it's like Little Shop of Horrors. Just like like the worst thing you could imagine to plant.
It's going to be very bad. Hey, you want to take the Casey query? Mm-hmm. All right.
I would love to.
What? Listen now. Listen up. It's the KC query. What? KC query. Yeah. Give it to me. Ask me some questions right now.
All right, we are here at the KC Query FKA quiz. It's pretty simple. I'm going to ask you some Kansas City related questions. You will be rewarded points for these questions. Woo. Remember, if you don't like a question, you just say stupid question.
Okay.
And remember, folks, you can always tweet us at Kansas City Pod if you would like your question added to the KC Query. Okay.
So these are like locals sending these in. That's dope.
Yeah. Sometimes we get some local questions.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. So we always start with this question.
Okay.
It is a very popular question, and it basically sets the tone. So don't overthink it. You can have more than one. Are you ready? It's your favorite restaurant that is not barbecue.
Oh, town topic.
Oh, yeah. There we go. You're speaking to my heart. All right, town topic.
Milkshakes.
Best milkshakes. We had a milkshake at Town Topic. You get a burger, too?
Oh, yeah, burger and fries. Oh, their onion rings are good, too. Honestly, everything there is so good. Like, I would get a box of cereal there, and it would be good.
Town Topic. I'm giving you 5 points for that. All right, are you a barbecue fan?
Yeah.
All right, so favorite barbecue? Do you have
McGonagall's.
What?
McGonagall's. Oh my god, have you never been to McGonagall's?
I've never been to McGonagall's.
Oh my god, go to McGonagall's today.
Wait, hold on. Why is McGonagall's not coming? I feel like I've asked so many questions on this damn KC query that, like, I'm sure someone's mentioned McGonagall's before, but I cannot for the life of me place where McGonagall's is at.
Oh gosh, I think it's on Warnell.
Okay. Wait, why is that the best? No one talks about McGonagall's. They talk about Joe's.
It's almost like a meat market.
Oh.
And they will like cook it right outside for you. Like you can literally go like buy a thing of ribs and then like have them cook it and then eat it right there.
Whoa.
And it is delicious. It's McGonagall's. Like their meat is just uncomparable.
Okay.
Or whatever that
McGonagall's with the sweet meat.
Yes.
All right. You're a musician. You played in bands. Your favorite place to see a show? Like your favorite place to see it? You got a favorite local venue, or you can have more than one, but you got
Really?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I like the Rhino.
Yeah.
The Rhino's just like very comfortable.
Oh yeah, it's
I could like
small
take a
and
nap
intimate.
in there while watching a show. Like that's how comfortable.
And
it
you can
is.
go get some beer, and the
Yeah.
food's great.
Yeah,
I mean,
you have like you can go play ping pong. There's like
Yeah.
different options in there.
Yeah. Okay, so the Rhino.
I like the Rhino. I love Green Lady Lounge.
Okay, yes, that place is.
I just
wow.
like how like dark it is in there. Honestly, like no one has to like really know I'm there. Like I can just like go sit in a booth and listen to music.
Yes.
You know.
Okay.
And I don't know. I like the Phoenix as well. I'm like naming off jazz clubs now.
That's fine. That counts.
But the
That's-
city is like a jazz. It is a jazz emporium. It is a wonderful city.
A jazz-porium.
Emporium. But the Phoenix is cool. The Phoenix is a really good little environment. Yeah.
All right. 5 points. This is more of a regional thing. Is it pop or soda?
I don't drink it, so I don't think I ever say. I mean, I guess. Wait. Do you want a soda? I think I'd probably say soda.
You say soda. Why don't
Yeah.
you drink soda? Is it bad for you?
No, I just like it doesn't make me feel good. You know,
Oh.
like I feel like I don't drink
how
enough
the
water.
hell are you gonna write your second album? Because you gotta get
Honestly,
soda.
I don't have like any vices. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I just like drink. I honestly I like sugar though. Like I
Well, who
will
doesn't love
eat
sugar?
so much ice cream, and I ate a whole pack of Twizzlers the other day, just like by myself, and like I'm not even ashamed to admit that. Like I love Twizzlers.
That's fine. You can have Twizzlers. That's great. Here we go. All right, so here's another one. Music related. The best concert you've ever seen in Kansas City. Who do you
Okay, so there was this one year that I played Middle of the Map.
got? Okay.
If you or was it Middle of the Map?
I don't know.
It was
I
either
wasn't
Middle
there.
of the Map or it was the Crossroads Music Festival.
Okay.
Sometimes I get them confused, but we played it, and then Run River North was playing at the Record Bar,
Okay.
and I was just like up front, and I'd kind of been coming off like, oh, I played earlier, you know.
Oh yeah, we're coming off
Like
like,
the
that high.
adrenaline,
Yeah.
So I was just like feeling good, and I was like standing in the front row, and I'd only really known at that time one of their songs, but I walked out buying their CD and like meeting all the members and like just falling in love with that band. So that was probably like my most memorable concert.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. How do you feel about the streetcar?
I love the streetcar. I played on the streetcar.
You played on the streetcar.
Yeah.
Yes, for their art.
It was for, I think it was Art in the Loop.
Yeah.
But it was like the Christmas time one.
Oh,
It was
okay.
like the first time they tried it.
Okay.
And like my band was one of the ones to try it. And it was really fun. It was packed in there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like didn't really know what was going on because they're only on there for like 2 minutes. And they're like, why are there people playing music?
Yes.
You know, but a lot of people were like into it.
Cool.
Enjoying it,
So
yeah.
you just stayed on the streetcar longer to hear more of the show?
Yeah, totally.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You're walking on a sidewalk.
Uh-huh.
You see a snake. What do you do?
I try to see with the color of its head so I can go research about it and find out
Okay.
what it was.
All right, 2 points. Here we go. This is I always have to preface this question with the following anecdote. The Kansas City metropolitan area has more freeway lane miles per capita than any other large metropolitan area in the United States. What's your favorite Kansas City road?
Man,
Or least favorite?
like of anywhere in Kansas City.
Sure. What's your favorite road? Such a silly question.
Maybe a little bit. Okay, maybe Southwest Boulevard because there's so many good restaurants on Southwest Boulevard.
Okay, so yeah, all right. I agree with that.
And like that's just like a good strip to drive down, like Boulevard, brewing companies down there, and then if like you go the other way, you got up down. It's a fun one.
Who let the dogs out?
The Rugrats. Did you ever? Okay, Rugrats in Paris. That was like a whole bit.
It's been a long time since I've seen that one.
They let the dogs out.
Here we go. This question and this next group of questions were added to the Casey quiz by former guests.
Okay.
So Kate Hogan from Ham Kitty said, "What's your favorite Casey smell? Do you have a favorite Casey smell?" It's a tough one, but if you don't have one, it's okay.
Maybe walking into Crow's Coffee.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my coffee spot. So
that's your spot.
like just having the whiff of coffee is just like yes.
Okay, 1 point. What's your KC date night like? Like, if you had a date night on the town, what are you gonna do? What's your KC date
Probably
night?
go see some friends play.
Okay.
I do that a lot though, but my boyfriend's also a musician, so I'll also go see him play.
Yeah.
So and that kind of qualifies, kind of.
Do you ever like I eventually have reached a stage now where going to shows and going to concerts, I feel like I've done too much of it and I need to take a break. Like, you know, like
Yeah,
you know, like
totally.
I'll go to the big shows when they're in town,
Right.
but like just going and like listening, maybe I'm just getting older. I don't know what it is.
I think that maybe you're just going through a phase and like you'll want to get back out and see shows, or maybe like that was just one part of your life, you know,
Yeah.
and like you're ready for the Netflix life.
No. Here we go. This is a question that was added a couple weeks ago with Josh Lane. Your favorite pop culture icon? Like, do you have a favorite like
From
pop
Kansas City or like in general?
In general, it's a very general question.
Pop culture icon. I like.
Or nerdy, geeky. I don't know.
Okay, I was into Batman
Yeah.
pretty heavy, and I like really liked the Riddler.
Though the Riddler of
Yeah,
all. Okay, it's odd. And I mean, the Riddler's cool.
Riddler's really cool. I don't know. I had like a Batman phase. And I just like I was like, yeah, the Riddler's cool. And I kept on like taking quizzes and it was like saying that I was the Riddler, like of any Batman character.
It's because you're very sneaky.
I don't know.
You're very like
Mischievous,
mischievous. Yeah,
maybe. I'm probably not so much anymore. Like definitely probably in high school.
that's okay. All right. Here we go. You got some friends coming into town.
Okay.
And they're like, hey, we want the KC experience.
Okay.
You know, like, so what's the one thing that they've got to go do? Like the one thing they got to go try, one or two things that you're like, oh, you want that? You got to go do, you got to go here. You got to go there.
Maybe tell them to go to 18th and Vine just because it's so historical.
Okay.
And go to the Jazz Museum. And then maybe go to Union Station
Okay.
and check it out. Go get a cup of coffee and walk around. And then maybe we can end up at Lulu's and get some noodles.
Hey, yes, I went to Lulu's a couple weeks ago.
Oh my
It was
God, I
really
love it.
nice. For my mother's birthday. It was delicious. Here we go. You get to pick one.
Okay.
Worlds of Fun,
Okay.
the Zoo, Schlitterbahn, or Pal Gardens.
Powell Gardens. I'm like, I love going to the park. I would pick something free any day.
Okay. All right. There we go. Only a few questions left. You're doing really well. You're at like 32 points.
Nice.
Your favorite local hangout? Do you have a favorite local hangout? Like if you were just going to go somewhere and hang out? What do you got?
Probably Crow's Coffee.
Okay. So that's your spot. Crow's
Yeah.
Coffee. All right. Do you have a favorite local event?
Local event.
Yeah. Like
Like that happens like every year.
sure. It's your interpretation of the question. However you feel. There is no right or wrong answer to these questions if you haven't noticed.
I went to Boulevardia this year, and I think I'm gonna make that a yearly thing. My goal is to play it next year.
Okay.
I've never played. That's the only festival I haven't played in Kansas City.
Really?
Yeah, but all the festivals, I guess, are my favorite
Middle of the
local
map.
event. Yeah, Middle of the Map, Crossroads Music Festival,
Very
now
nice.
Boulevardia.
Okay. Here we go. Do you have a question for me? It's your turn. You can ask me a question.
What is your favorite? Who is your favorite artist?
My favorite artist?
Yes.
Like of all
favorite,
time?
Yes, of all time.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Modest Mouse?
I love Modest Mouse. I'm wearing my Modest Mouse shirt today. Oh, man. That's not fair.
It's a hard question.
So can I have like 3 or 4?
You know, 3.
3? Hold on. That's not a fair question.
Okay, who was your favorite artist in high school?
In high school? That's now we're really making it bad. So I feel like my music taste has changed so much over the last 15
Oh, yeah.
years,
Yeah.
right? Because when you first get to high school, and let's see, I graduated from high school in 2004.
Okay.
So I remember going to high school, and that was like right out of the straight up Limp Bizkit, Korn, you know, like
Right.
Eminem phase, you know, and
Right.
everything, like all that Seven Dust, you know,
Right,
and then I was weird because I had a huge love for basically Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Green Day, and then AC/DC. Like just nonstop. Like
Yeah.
that was all I listened to
Yeah.
all the time. Mostly Pearl Jam. So in high school it was mostly Pearl Jam. And then when I got to college, then it started like really starting to change because that's when I started learning about Modest Mouse and the Shins
Yeah.
and like the Decemberists popped up and like then LCD Sound System
Yeah.
and then like Arcade Fire and so like I started like really getting like really alternative, really
Right.
different, and then I went on a crazy hip hop binge.
Oh, yeah?
But like we're talking like old school, like
Yeah.
I would listen to I would listen to Sugar Hill Gang and Dougie Fresh, you know, like just all this crazy like
Did you
old
listen
school
to any Beastie Boys?
all the time.
Oh,
All
yeah.
the time. And so it like totally changed. But so I would say, and see now I find myself going back and forth. I don't like a lot of the new stuff that's coming out because I feel like it's too electronic.
Like new music in general?
Like so much of it sounds the same to me because there's just
Yeah.
so much that is.
It's just like the fastest, cheapest thing they
it's
can get out.
It sounds so processed
Yeah.
now. It doesn't sound like an actual musician playing anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and like, so you listen to some of the stuff on the radio, this new stuff coming out, like it's catchy, but it's all the same. Like it starts out with like a weird, like, keyboard part, you know,
Right.
and then like you can tell it's not a real drum, you know, it's like
Right.
somebody banging on the pads,
Right,
you know.
right.
So, all right, but the question at hand was my favorite. Okay. I love Modest Mouse. Mm-hmm. I love Neil Young.
Oh, yeah.
I love Neil Young.
Old man, look
Yes.
at my life.
Oh, it's so great. It's freaking great. I love the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
I could listen to Pet Sounds.
It's heavenly.
It's just nonstop.
Okay, then I have a suggestion for you.
Yes, go
So there's a Kansas City band called Shy Boys.
Okay.
And they're like the Beach Boys on like a, I don't know, a different, like a new level. I don't know if that
Okay.
makes sense. Like a new generation of like a very old sound.
Okay. I will look them up.
Yeah.
Shy Boys.
Yeah.
Very nice. I don't know. I feel like I could just keep going and going and going.
It's easy wormhole.
It's easy to go down a wormhole, but I will stand tall with
those three?
With those three for now.
Okay.
But it could change in like 20 minutes.
Yeah. That's a good variety though.
But you're sticking with the Beatles.
Yes, the Beatles I think is like the over. I mean, obviously like I've way expanded and like I don't even really listen to them too much anymore.
Okay, so
Just
then,
because I'm like listening to so much right now.
yeah.
I'm listening to a lot of jazz.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot.
I
A lot
have
of old
a hard
jazz.
time listening to jazz like
I did it too. I did too. I
can't
didn't
do
really. I was not into it in high school. I wasn't really into it even these last couple of years. But something about it is just really speaking to me right now. I think
Yeah.
it's because I'm focusing more on like melodic things on my instrument, and I'm like hearing that in jazz. It's like, how can we take this and make it like really weird? You know?
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
But I also listen to like Ella Fitzgerald and
Oh,
Billie
okay.
Holiday and Nina Simone.
Oh, see now that you're bringing that up, now I'm getting into like, I have the complete Motown singles.
Oh, yeah?
Set like all the way volume 1 through 12.
Yeah.
I think there's even volume 13.
Wow, I bet there's some
And-
good stuff in there.
Oh man!
Just-
You
I would
could
love to just
you
sit
could
down
just
and knock
put
that
it
out.
on shuffle and like so like I'll have in my car. Basically, I'll have like just I only pick like 3 or 4 albums at a time. So right
Yeah.
now in my car, it's the new LCD Sound System album. It's the from last year. It's the like volume 12 of the Motown singles, and then the new War on Drugs album that came out last year. And so like all of a sudden it'll go from like the Four Tops to LCD Sound System.
That's literally my car.
Then back to like then it'll be Smokey Robinson, and then Stevie Wonder, and then it'll go to the War on Drugs, and it's just like it's like, you know what? This is not bad.
Yeah.
It's a nice little eclectic mix.
Right.
And we could talk about music.
Oh yeah.
All day.
Yeah,
We could
definitely.
we are nearing the end of the quiz here. Hold on. Let's see what I got here. All right. So it's time for the Google challenge. The Google challenge, what I do is I go online to the Google machine and I type in a word or phrase, right? And then I let Google autofill.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you basically the start of the word or phrase.
Okay.
And then you
I'm Google.
fill it in. You have to fill it in. Guess what it's filled in? And we've talked about the Beatles today. So I typed in the Beatles are
The Beatles
blank. What is Google going to autofill? The Beatles are
dead question mark?
okay.
I know maybe if it was are the Beatles, I know that would be one of them.
That's right. We can double check that. The Beatles are overrated.
Still alive.
Still, I know. I saw it. The second one is still alive. The last one is the Beatles are terrible. So
Okay,
wait, hold
that's
on.
like so mean.
I know that's good, but do you think the Beatles are overrated?
Maybe a little bit. I've never admitted that, and everyone's like, "Wow, they're so overrated," and I'm like, "No, they're not."
You are correct. If you
But-
type in "are the Beatles," it's still alive.
Yeah,
Yes.
I like that's always one
So
that I feel like
it's very close.
people wonder. Yeah.
Let's tally up your points here. 5. You finished up with 42 points.
Woo! Out of what? Wait, out of what?
I don't know. Check the leaderboard. It's online. So thank you for taking the Casey query.
Yeah.
Listen up. It's the KC query. What? KC query. Yeah, give it to me. Ask me some questions right now.
All right. We are nearing the end of our time here today. We've talked about a lot of things. Miki, I'm going to give you the floor. It is your chance to plug, your chance to promote, your chance to tell the people where they can find you. All right, go for it. This is your time to shine.
Thank you.
The floor is yours.
I got my album release show September 14th at the Rino. It starts at 8. The doors open at 7. It's $5. It's going to be a wonderful night of music. I have 7 amazing women opening up for me. So come on out. I have my album coming out September 1st, and that'll be available anywhere from the comfort of your couch or wherever. And visit me at MikiPmusic.com.
MikiPmusic.com.
Yes.
We will link to Miki's website. We will also, on our Facebook page and everywhere else, we will, when the album drops.
Yes.
When it drops, we will make sure to share it out on our Facebook page and everything like that. Remember, you can always find us on our website, theKansasCityPodcast.com, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Kansas City Pod. And of course, you can always find me on Twitter at Cole Lindbergh. This has been a great show. It's been very nice to talk to you. I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you.
Thank
you for having me on.
I appreciate you giving me some vocal warm-up tips. So the next time I have to sing a fun, happy song.
Right.
I appreciate that. I wish you nothing but the best. Please, my songwriting tips. They
I will take them into effect.
You don't take them into effect. You do them.
You do them.
Okay.
There's no.
If you want to grow your audience, you
have to do this.
You have to do this.
Do or do not.
Any final words before we go today?
Thanks for listening to the listeners. I appreciate you. Yeah.
and I appreciate you as well. We will see everybody next week here on the Kansas City Podcast. See you later.